All right, what up, Nerd Squad? Thanks for stopping back in today. Got another no bullshit assessment for you. Today we are talking Mortal Kombat. Since the movie just came out a couple days ago, I've had a chance to watch it twice at this point. So I want to talk about it. Before we get into the details, obviously we got spoilers coming, so if you haven't seen it yet, go watch some of my other content and then come back once you have finished it. Leading up to this, if you guys follow me and stuff, you know I did the trailer reaction a couple, 2 months ago. Kind of laid it out there. Super excited for this thing to come out. Was really, really excited. We were finally getting another Mortal Kombat. Talked about how the first couple movies everybody hated and just talked mad shit about because they were from the 90s and it just didn't vibe with most people. I thought they were awesome. Anyway, that being said, though, moving into this, had really high expectations. The trailers for this thing looked fantastic. I definitely was excited. Just was super ready. Stayed up and watched it. Caught it after the last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, so it was a pretty late night burn. I think it was, for me, they came on around 1, so it was probably until about 4 by the time I got done the other night. But it was worth it. And like I said, I went ahead and watched Mortal Kombat again just to make sure I was on my toes with everything moving into this review / like I said, no bullshit assessment. Jumping right into this thing, I'll say the very beginning of this movie was fantastic. The first probably 7 to 10 minutes, which focused on Sub-Zero and Scorpion fighting, but obviously in the form of Bihan and Hanzo. This was awesome. And to be completely honest with you, this should be a standalone movie. The reason leading up to the end, or to Sub-Zero killing Scorpion, or Hanzo in this case, that's a movie in and of itself. So I think they did an okay job here, giving us a little bit of backstory on the two characters, just kind of that there was this feud and then the way that it went. But that's a movie. And I think the diehard Mortal Kombat fans want that. And I think we need that. And I think that's something that should have been taken into consideration with this. I will say that I feel like a lot of the characters in Mortal Kombat probably should have their own TV shows or miniseries or things of that nature. And realistically, what I think should have been done leading up to a movie such as this is just that. A handful of these absolutely phenomenal characters that we've grown up playing in the video games and whatnot, that have been there from the beginning, from Mortal Kombat 1, these original characters, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Sonya Blade, Jax, Raiden, Shang Tsung, just to name a few. If we had some really good backstory leading up to a big kind of come together thing, much like how, Endgame did and the Avengers series did, with all these spinoffs being brought into one entity. That's what they should have done here. I think we got a little too little of information on everybody moving into this. I'll be honest, the character, the main character in this now, he's not in any of the video games. He wasn't somebody who we're familiar with. This was a total new introduction for us. So I don't know. Didn't really give me a chance to really latch onto the character, because it wasn't one that I'm familiar with. And it's hard to jump onto a brand new character when there's already so many good ones already there. So I wasn't thrilled. I didn't like that part of it that much. I think they could have done better. I think everybody would agree, the main characters in this thing, like Liu Kang or even Kung Lao, it could have been a front runner story for them instead of this new guy, Cole. That, like I said, it didn't really resonate with me that much. I wasn't thrilled about it. I didn't think it was that strong of a character. I don't know. It just, like I said, that wasn't a selling point for me. I will say one of the other highlights of this was the fight choreography. I feel like was done really well. I think for it to be a movie that's based on a fighting video game, I think it was done very, very well. I thought there were some really good fight scenes, really good choreography for the fights. Obviously, they included in some of the fatalities and things of that nature, which was pretty cool to see. And it was nice to see in the movie realm of that thing, kind of as gory as it was and stuff, which is Mortal Kombat. That's kind of the point. I talked about this leading up to this thing, that having it be more gory is something that I think Mortal Kombat fans expect. So I think they added it in there and they did it pretty well, and it worked for the storyline. Some of it was, I wish it would have been a little different. There's one scene in particular where, when Jax finally gets his shit together and he's got his big old metal arms and shit, Raiden sends him to go fight Rico on the bridge, and it's like they do this shot where it kind of pans into the bridge, and it's the stage. It is literally the very first stage fatality Mortal Kombat ever created. The bridge with the spikes under it. And I got so excited, and I thought, this is it. We're going to get to see Jax use those big-ass arms of his to uppercut this big dumb fuck off this bridge and send him down to the spikes. You know, like I said, that's original Mortal Kombat shit. And they start fighting, and I just can't wait. And it just like, what the fuck? He smashes his head with his hands. Like, yeah, no shit. He's got 2 metal fucking arms. We know he can do that. That was stupid. And what a blown opportunity to send him down to the spikes. Like, that's the whole point of that stage. Why is it even in the movie then if you're not going to dump his ass down there? So, I don't know. That to me was frustrating. The other thing that I found kind of frustrating was some of the CGI. And I don't know why, but I'll be honest with you. I feel like there was a lot of CGI in this movie that was done really, really well. I thought all of Raiden's like lightning and special effects were awesome. I feel like they were on point. But then there was a lot of other kind of side stuff that I feel like was kind of wonky. And I kind of even said this leading into the trailer that I was a little concerned. Some of it looked a little questionable. And I had hoped they were going to tighten it up. And I don't really feel like they did. And I don't know if this is maybe due to the fact that maybe they had more than one company doing the CGI in order to get this thing done on time and whatnot. And one company did, Raiden stuff and one company did another stuff. But to me, it was it felt like it had to have been 2 different entities doing the special effects, because some of it was flawless. Some of it was weak. So not sure there. I didn't look into it enough to know, the reason for that. Like I said, if I didn't sit through the credits and find out how many CGI companies they used or anything, but just something I noticed that I wasn't, totally thrilled about. The characters themselves, like I said, for the most part, these are the originals. I'm a little frustrated at some of the character selection choice, some of the bad guys in this. Obviously, you have Shang Tsung and Melina was in it, which are some of the originals. Goro was in it. But then just some of the selections, though, like, Cabal, to me, is not one of the standout characters. Even though I did enjoy his character in the movie, he's not one of the main standouts. I don't know why we wouldn't have seen somebody like Baraka or Ermac or Rain or Reptile or something of that nature. And we did get a Reptile-esque character that's, again, just a lizard, which that one for me was also stupid. Like, let's put Reptile in as the ninja that he is. And, if you kill him off in the first movie, great. He's not a starring character, so it would have been fine. But didn't like the reptile creature that they sent in the movie. As far as the good guys go, I thought they were all pretty much there. I thought that Raiden's character was probably one of my favorites. I think Raiden was finally done right. The only criticism I have for Raiden was that I wish we would have got to see him actually fight, actually do some kind of hand-to-hand combat and really assert himself aside from just using lightning. And don't get me wrong, I love the lightning scenes. Those are, my favorite, but I wish we could have seen him do a little kick-assery, so to speak. But Liu Kang was cool. He definitely was much more wise and kind of, the mentor in this, which is fine. I'm okay with that. And him, if he's not going to be the starring character, I'm okay with him being at least in that role. But Kung Lao for me took it, man. Kung Lao in this movie was fantastic. He looked good. His action was good. His lines were good. That was perfect. That was flawless, so to speak, for me as far as Kung Lao goes. And then they kill him in the first movie. I'm like, what the fuck? He was one of the best characters. So it was, again, it was something that came with the good and the bad. I had a friend ask me what I thought of the movie without spoiling it for him. I said I liked some of it and I hated some of it. And that's kind of why, because Kung Lao kicked ass, but then they killed him. Same thing with like Goro. They put Goro in a movie. Goro's one of the main staple bad guys. They put him in this movie and then this novice new guy kills him. Like, that, what the fuck is that? So I didn't like that either. Like, Goro should be somebody who should make it past the first movie. He's one of the main characters. Kano in this to me is reason enough to rewatch this movie. He was so funny, and the lines that he had and the shit he talked at every turn made this movie, I think, like I said, a more than one-time watch. Just him flat out. Took the cake, best character in the movie as far as I'm concerned. He was hilarious. I mean, to the point of when he develops the laser beam out of his eye and makes fun of Liu Kang for only having fireballs and tells him, that that's some weak shit or whatever because he only makes fireballs instead of laser eyes or whatever.
That was it, wasn't it? You all saw that. Laser beam! It's better than fireballs, you pussy!
Awesome. Fantastically done. Fantastically acted. Great lines. Great humor. Just all the way through. I thought it was perfect as far as I'm concerned. Again, they did throw some fatalities in here, which was kind of cool to see. I do wish some of them would have been done a little bit differently. Obviously, the bridge one. I don't need to see Jack smash somebody's head with his fucking arms. Like, no shit. They're mechanical fucking arms. What else is he going to do with them? So, again, it was hit or miss there. This whole idea of developing these special abilities for me, I didn't like. It was like they presented it in a way that they had to really test themselves to develop these abilities when, like, that wasn't even the case. And, like, are you going to tell me that that's the most pissed off Kano's ever got was when Kung Lao and Liu Kang were talking shit to him, and his whole life of all the debauchery and dumb shit that Kano's done, that was the point that set him off to shooting a laser beam out of his eye? No, I don't think so. And then, this new character's he just develops like this weird kind of gold green plated body armor shit. Like, that was dumb as hell. And then when Sonya kills Kano and, gets his mark and becomes, one of the warriors who can access their powers, she automatically knows how to fucking do it. Like, there wasn't enough to fill in, especially when they had basically told her during the training, because she was there when the other guys were trying to learn how to do their special abilities, and they basically told her to fuck off. So it's like,
yeah, liability.
She didn't really get to learn anything. So how did she automatically know how to do this stuff? So they just missed a lot. I feel like there were points where they tried to make it be too flashy. So they went ahead and just, she has abilities, so let's let her use them. And it missed the mark, I feel like, as far as that goes. I talked about the main character. I wasn't thrilled on that. I'm not going to dive too deep into that. I don't think he'll go away because obviously in the storyline, he's the direct lineage of Scorpion, and he has his family bloodline and stuff. So I think he's there to stay. And I think, he may be the replacement so that it's not just a movie based on Liu Kang or some of these guys, which, I mean, I don't know. Like, you take 20 years to remake a movie. I think in this case, it's okay to do the remake and let it be Liu Kang. And, this isn't like one of the Batman or Superman movies where every 3 years we get a brand new person playing the same character. So I think after 20 years, it's probably acceptable to go ahead and drive down the same road again and just do it slightly different. So I don't know. I wasn't thrilled about that part of it. I am wondering, and this is where I'm hoping that is kind of the saving grace of this thing, because this movie wasn't actually set in a Mortal Kombat tournament itself. This was like the build up to the tournament. This was Shang Tsung's attempt to prevent the tournament from happening because he doesn't want the prophecy to be fulfilled that Earthrealm's going to win the 10th tournament and all that stuff. That gives me hope that there's more to come. And that gives me hope that if there is a sequel to this that's based on the tournament, that we're going to get to see a lot of those frontrunner characters that were not utilized in this. But that being said, it bums me out even more that they killed off Kung Lao and they killed off Goro already. And even Melina, like, we're not going to get to see a scene where Princess Kitana fights Melina. Like, that's the sister rivalry thing. So I don't know. And why didn't we get Princess Kitana in this? And like I said, I think the only thing could be is because this was not the tournament. That's the way that I have to look at this movie to make it not be a total flop, in my opinion, is that this was not the tournament and all of the good characters are being held in reserve for the tournament. And they had to just give us a little flash and flare with Goro and a couple of these other ones to, wet our whistle, so to speak, as far as that goes. But a lot of it's going to be done in a sequel. Now, obviously, at the end of this, it does kind of set up the idea of a sequel. We do see the poster, and Cole talks about going to L.A. Because he's looking for somebody, and then they show at the end the poster for Johnny Cage. I will say this hands down, because I've seen this on the internet, that people were hoping for within this one that the Miz, the WWE's Miz, would be Johnny Cage. If they even think about doing anything other than that, they are out of their fucking mind. The Miz is the perfect character for Johnny Cage moving forward if they're going to do a sequel. I will say it here and now. I stand completely by that decision. So let's hope for that. But, you know, I don't want to keep you guys in here too long, but, you know, just to really kind of boil this thing down, this was disappointing for me. I was super excited. This definitely fell a little bit short as far as my expectations of it went. I did not hate it. I definitely did not hate it. But my no bullshit assessment, my full out just how do I feel about it is I'm disappointed. I would still watch it. If you're any kind of a Mortal Kombat fan, it's worth seeing. It definitely is worth seeing. Anytime that you're a fan of something and content comes out for it, it's usually worth seeing. And this, in my opinion, is worth seeing. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it like anything. I'm disappointed, but again, I feel like it kept me at least enough on board to think of the future for this thing, and the future being sequels, hopefully, which, like I said, will be more tournament-based movies and better character development. I'm hopeful that they will see if there's success with this, that they can see what success Marvel and Star Wars and stuff has been doing on Disney Plus with some of their spinoff shows and their little 10 and 6-part series and stuff like that. That's what needs to happen here. We need these 6 to 10 episodes of each character, of some of these main characters, to get their backstory leading them up to the tournament. And I think there's no reason not to do that. And then the movie at the end of that has to be so fantastic that you just can't not see it. That would be my hope. That would be my expectation moving forward. I hope this isn't just a standalone movie that we just got this one-off and that's kind of where they leave it. I don't know. But to me, it fell a little bit short. And that's disappointing, but I'm glad they made it. It's always good to see these characters, you know, staying relevant in the sphere of things, because they're still putting these games out. I think they're up to 11, 12, or 13, or I don't know, Mortal Kombat 48 maybe. I don't know. There's a shit ton of them. And there's a plethora of characters, but I want to see them stay a little bit more true in the cinematic realm to the original ones. Those are the ones that we grew up playing with, that are, you know, from Mortal Kombat 1 through like Mortal Kombat 3 and Ultimate 3 and stuff like that. Some of the outside characters moving past that are a little questionable. I'd love to see Nightwolf hit the screen again. There's plenty of characters. There's plenty of content. There's plenty of stuff to do. They just need to slow down. They need to do it right. They need to make sure the writing is on point, the storylines are on point, and the characters are on point. And I think it could be a huge success. But anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. That is my no bullshit assessment on Mortal Kombat 2021. Check it out. Definitely go take a look at it. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up on Instagram, Sector 7 Podcast. Let me know what you think. I'm really interested to see what some of the diehard Mortal Kombat fans think. I want to know the people that loved it. Why did you love it? The people that hate it. I want to know why you hate it. If you're kind of in the middle like me, let me know why. Leave me some comments on the video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that fucking shit you do on the social media stuff. But yeah, that's kind of where we'll leave it. So, that being said, guys, same as always, stay safe, be good to each other, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Mortal Kombat!